6543210 and liftoff are the numbers that begin the ignition sequence. There will be a liftoff. I'd want to introduce myself as the digital asset investor to everyone. In addition, I am able to provide you with the name of the connection to my sponsor, which is linkto.com. However, I am unable to provide you with the name of one of the private equities that are now available on the platform. You will have to go and seek for it on your own. And really well-known business. According to what I've been told, this item is in high demand, yet I am not permitted to discuss it for whatever reason. Go ahead and find out for yourself, shall we? Be sure to look at this now. Your tickets to XRP Las Vegas 2024 are now available. Here we are on the 16th of April. Brad Combs informed me that he has the information that the prices of tickets would increase on April 25th, and the conference will begin in May. Is it this one's first or the third? Something along those lines. On the other hand, it is stated right there, during the 3rd and 4th of May, 2024. Consequently, if you have been putting it off, you had better get it done now because the time is almost up, folks. He has already established new benchmarks. Without a doubt, there are going to be a great number of people present. He accomplished a significant feat with this one. Just so you know, the Securities and Exchange Commission has not taken action about another $1 billion worth of unbacked Tether. This is because, in my opinion, the operation has always been commissioned by the government. A piece of paper that has been printed out of thin air is the government's left alone. An amount of Tether equal to $1 billion. Additionally, Ripple is on the verge of launching its very own stable coin. Does this imply that they, too, will be able to produce stable currencies out of thin air by just printing them? To my knowledge, that is the case. In the end, we have a Bitcoin user who is being truthful and telling you that the Litecoin network is not functioning properly. Also, XRP has always been its own Lightning network. This is something to keep in mind. At this moment in time, the amount of capital that Lightning possesses is only approximately $300 million. There are around $1 to $2 billion worth of transactions that are processed annually by it. When compared to stable coins, that is a very modest amount. There is a 10,000-fold reduction. As a mainline scaling option for Bitcoin, Lightning has not been successful according to the results. It has been the driving force behind development for the past 6 or 7 years, but it has not been successful in accordance with the expectations of the majority of Bitcoiners who were present throughout that time period, including myself. If you listen to Jack Mallers, you will hear that he is wearing a hoodie and that his house is devoid of any furnishings. He makes an effort to act as though the Lightning Network is the most incredible thing that has ever existed. That it has not been as successful as other scaling options is something that can be acknowledged without any problems. That is not a problem. What should we do from this point on? That is the question. Do we continue to rely on Lightning for the next 7 years, or do we investigate possibilities for scaling that are not Lightning? Certainly, I am a member of the latter group. After that, I'd like to show you an intriguing video clip. Pay attention to what this individual has to say about the markets. As far as I can tell, I believe it's a movement to get out the popcorn. In the next weeks, I believe that the earnings season for the technology industry is going to be very strong. Our perspective is that this is a fantastic opportunity to make a purchase, and that is how we see it. There is no time to run at this moment. In all honesty, now is the time to triumph. The use of digital assets and some of the alternative commodities that are currently available on the market is something that I believe will continue to be a driving force. More likely than not, the price of gold will continue to rise. To be more specific, as of today, its chart was continuing to display a green candle. Because of this, it is also responding in a manner that is similar to what happens when you begin to observe these kinds of disputes, which is that people are searching for flight safety, which is normally shifting away from traditional fiat currency and securities, despite the fact that some people will stick to cash, in most situations like that. But there is no doubt that this is going to be a very intriguing time for everyone. The current year is one of elections. And this is how they do it, guys, despite the fact that things appear to be frightening right now. The corrupt politicians carry out their schemes in this manner. For the purpose of ensuring that they are re-elected, they manipulate the economy in such a way that it appears to be in the best possible health and condition during these election years. It would appear that the current administration, which appears to be anti-business in every way, is about as anti-business as it gets. Greetings, everyone. Here is our longtime friend Mike Novogratz, appearing on the Squat Box this morning on the Propaganda Box. A time when Bitcoin has not held up in the midst of what you would have expected would have been the moment that it would have in the context of being either a safe haven or a hedge against inflation, or whatever you think the thesis is for Bitcoin at a time when it has not held up. To tell you the truth, you can always look at price activity with extremely myopic eyes and try to read too much into it. The fact of the matter is that Bitcoin started the year at 42,000, and we are currently at 62,000. Therefore, it is one of the assets that performs the best. Iranian forces launched an attack on Israel on Saturday. Bitcoin is the only asset that is currently available. People have a relatively high tolerance for risk in general, including stocks, cryptocurrency, and other assets. Therefore, the natural response is to go to the safe, which is still dollars and T-bills around the world when it comes to safety. Exactly. You are aware of the dollar's recent gain. Both of them are larger. But the dollar isn't supposed to be a safe investment, is it? Isn't the fact that the dollar is not secure why Bitcoin was created in the first place? Listen up, since in the long run, it isn't correct. Take a peek at what we are doing right now, if you will. Today, we are going to vote on whether or not to increase the amount of money spent on wars. Exactly. More money is being smuggled around the Supreme Court by President Biden in order to facilitate the repayment of student debts. Perhaps that is the case. On the other hand, the point is that it seems that when things are bad and people are terrified, they buy dollars. Consequently, when things are going poorly and people are afraid, those who have leverage want to have less leverage. Therefore, they focus on areas in which they have leverage and sell those areas. This is the reason why the Nasdaq chart will be looked at by the stock market. Not a good appearance at all. Exactly. We can roll tapes of you and I having conversations about this topic over the past 5 or 8 or more years, and the point of Bitcoin is that it is not supposed to be associated with anything else. To put it simply, that is the purpose of this activity. There is not a single asset in the entire universe that is not associated with everything else at all times. Exactly. When portfolios grow, a new piece of information is presented, and fund managers and retail accounts desire to have less risk rather than greater risk. This is what happens. There is a significant amount of risk associated with something that has gone from 40 to 70 years old. It comes with a significant amount of leverage built in. In addition, the phenomenon of meme coins is a good example of this. It is possible to observe it with other cryptos. When a lot of money comes in, animal spirits take control of the situation. Consequently, you will need to cleanse yourself of those animal spirits. However, this does not render this general premise erroneous. Okay, what a fascinating topic. This is also the case. Here is the Hong Kong Bitcoin Exchange Traded Fund. In the end, this is the first spot Bitcoin and Ether ETF to be created in Hong Kong, which makes it an interesting development. What exactly is the significance of these approvals that are still conditional? The fact that Hong Kong is ultimately attempting to become the hub of cryptocurrency or virtual assets in Asia Pacific is an intriguing aspect of this situation. And what Hong Kong has done to set itself apart from other places is that they have made it possible for people to create and redeem themselves. As a result of this, if you are a holder of Bitcoin or Ether, you will finally be able to convert those assets into an exchange-traded fund ETF. The United States of America has solely permitted the creation of cash and its redemption. A Bitcoin exchange-traded fund ETF is what you will receive in exchange for the cash that you provide in the end. As a result, Hong Kong is going to take a somewhat different approach, which is that they are going to permit the physical exchange of in-kind creation using cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ether. It is therefore possible to convert Bitcoin or Ether that you already possess into an exchange-traded fund ETF. As a result, this is a pretty significant event since, in the end, it has the potential to draw a variety of players, including individuals who already possess these virtual assets and cryptocurrencies. If they so choose, they have the ability to